I'll tell a few words about Milicom, who we are and what we do, because we're quite unknown in UK, but we're very known and operate under the Tigo brand in Latin America and Africa. I'll walk you through the basics of procurement transformation. You heard several sessions about it, but let's get another try. Revolution or evolution, and I'll tell you what I mean with that, and category management reloaded and some key takes away. So what's Milicom is about? Milicom is a telecom and media entertainment company, and we are totally dedicated to emerging markets. We do not operate in any mature markets at all. We have no presence in Europe whatsoever. So we operate in Latin America and Africa in 13 growth markets. We were founded in the 90s, 25 years ago approximately, in Sweden, where I am from, and we're listed on the OMX in Stockholm. And we are 16,000 employees, and our revenue is $6.7 billion US dollars. So what we deliver are TV and broadband, and you know that from UK market like BT, so everybody, all telco companies are very much now into home TV entertainment. Our major partners would be like Netflix, HBO, but it would be all done on our platform. We provide classical mobile services. We have shops. We do business to business. And we have quite a unique service, which is mobile financial solutions, meaning that in countries where there is no financial infrastructure, no banks, people will be able to do transactions through our mobile platforms, pay the bills, pay to their suppliers, pay to transfer money to their relatives, and it's extremely appreciated, and we were first on the market with this service. So you can say we're in the banking as well. So let's try to wrap up what transformation is about, like basics. My definition is that nothing is new under the sun. Let's be honest. And people who were around for like 2 decades or 20 years in procurement or in the business would know. Like for 20 years ago, it was change management all around the place. That was hot and trendy. Let's do change management. And that will address exactly the same areas as we're doing now in procurement transformations. We'll talk about it later. So for me, it's change management, old classic, in a new shape, tailored to procurement function. Okay? Nothing is new. Key steps to successful transformation. And I believe you will recognize that. If you will hire very expensive consulting companies or big fours, they will all come with like, this is 5 steps you need to do to develop a transformational program. Build the case, engage people with power to drive the change, develop a vision, a strategy, plan, design, get mandates, execute actions, and anchor new approaches in the culture, generate new changes. Sounds very simple, right? So we have now the methodology, how to do it. Oh my God, but then we need to address all these areas, and now the complexity coming through. So you have organization, you have stakeholders, you have people, you need to fire and hire, train, uplift. There are different methodologies how to do it, but you need to deal with that. Processes, the list is very long. We talked about through the day, from category management to supplier management, spend management, stakeholder management, performance management, etc. Technology, quite complicated, quite expensive, requires a lot of investments, needed to be done, and continue improvements. So, I don't know, I heard some time plans, like 1 year and a half, 18 months, 3 years, 4 years. I would say the lead time of the transformation depends on the mandate, on executive support, and on your budget and capacity to execute it. If I have a great budget, I will buy fancy tools, I will bring a lot of contractors, consultants, and they will help me to drive a transformation program from end to end, and I will do it quickly. The thing is, will it sit? So that's the complexity of the transformation program. I would like to visualize it as famous Adrian Curtis doing it, House of Procurement. So let's think about transformation program and all those areas you need to address as the House of Procurement. So do you have a stable house, or you need to take it down and build it from scratch, or you can take room after room and try to fix it. There are different approaches, but there is foundation. Foundation must be done. It must be good. It's talent management, and also different approaches in different companies. You train people, you coach them, you let them grow, or you hire. I've seen different transformation programs and been through different types of programs, but I would say talent management is a must, stakeholder management is a must, and then you go and look into each of them, each room in that House of Procurement. I'd like to go into category management because that's something which is the core. At least for Milicom, the key in transformation was category management, and we said, yeah, we'll do an effort and we'll put in place excellent category management. And then we thought, what should we do? Should we transform it as a revolution or evolution? So it's two different approaches to transformation to make it happen. So revolution, it's back to the House of Procurement. You take it down, you start from scratch, you fire, you hire, you bring all the new processes, you bring all the new tools. Sounds very great, but it can be very destructive. And for the business especially, it can be very, very disturbing. And that's the revolutionary approach. It's quicker, it's maybe very effective, it can be very disruptive, but also the real change sits in implementation and adoption. It's what many companies and many colleagues, many peers shared with me, that it's great to do the whole transformation, and then when we run into the implementation issues, adoption issues, it's when the complexity is coming up. The other approach is more holistic approach to transformation, to focus on building a really knowledgeable, a really strategic, high-performing organization. For me, it's more like organic growth. That's principle. You train people, you transform different things, different areas in phases. So you give the organization the time needed to recognize, understand, manage, and lead the change. So I called it evolution rather than revolution. That's the path Milicom selected, not to do any revolutionary change, but to select category management as the core of the core and do it in more organic type of transformation. So we said, okay, let's reload category management. And how to do that? Quite simple. We didn't bring any consultancy companies. We decided to do it in-house. And we had so much intelligence in our organization, so we prepared our own methodology. We trained our teams locally and centrally. We did on-job training. We piloted key categories, and we designed the category governance, how we would manage it. In my space in indirect, it's extremely difficult and important. Some categories can be very global, some still perceived as local. But then we said, okay, let's put the governance with 4 different models. Those which can be global, centralized, central-led, coordinated, meaning we will coordinate local countries, and local, like ground transportation, typically local. And then we execute. So this methodology resulted that we implemented category management. We started the competence shift. It's an ongoing process. We're still training people, and they have huge learning because in our company, in emerging markets, we have issues in finding talents, and we really need to, and they're like 15 years behind Europe and US. So we're starting from scratch, and we're growing those talents. And we develop quite innovative strategies in each category. We don't do big bang. We look in category by category, and we transform it. And the result of it that the relationships with the business and stakeholders starting to grow and to flower, because they really see us as more strategic. And that's all thanks to category management, which is very concrete, very tangible, and proven. This is kind of a recap I want to do on the category management-driven transformation. So the baseline where we started, just to you to know, so Milicom is multinational telecom company, 13 highly emerging, unmature markets. Global spend, procurement global spend is $3.5 billion US per year. And in my portfolio, I manage about $1 billion. The business environment is very decentralized and very entrepreneurial. Operating model in procurement is very blended. We have a central procurement team, and we have local teams in each country under the management of the local head of procurement, and dotted lines to the global teams, no direct reports. The governance in the direct procurement is quite easy, quite centralized because of the nature of the categories. In our world, it's IT and network equipment, few suppliers, global providers, easy to centralize. In an indirect, which I started and built from scratch for 2 years ago, still perceived as local, and it's a challenge. I'm moving one by one, category by category, into more central-led type of governance, meaning that my team will lead the initiatives, the strategy, and local teams will participate. And mandate. I don't have a mandate. So my management told me, oh, give me a proof of concept, and then we'll see. So what does this mean? I don't have a power. I don't have resources or funds to deliver transformation, but I have kind of, yeah, please do try, and we see. Maybe we can do something when you will show us the pilots. So okay, I said, let's do a pilot. Objective of the team was to select one category to transform, and it's based on the priorities of the business and the size of the category. So we selected contingent labor category. 25,000 contingent workers in Latin America. $250 million US in spend. Greenfield area. Each country will manage it through HR, all in Excels, like 25,000 contingent workers logged in Excel with the contracts, with the due dates, with different prices. Yeah, we don't have the management of that. So what we did, I appointed a category manager, coached category manager, developed a new category strategy with innovation, aligned it, and developed very strong collaborative model with the stakeholders. So after 1 year, we are now in the implementation phase. We're bringing managed service provider solution, MSP in contingent labor. Groundbreaking for Latin America. It's the first MSP in contingent labor of that size in Latin America, and the whole program will get everybody under the management. It's the program, it's a service with the technology, with the VMS system, which is digitalization of the whole process, totally re-engineered, and the forecasted savings is 15% over the 3 years of the contract. One of the important points here were all risk management, because we were not compliant to the local labor laws, because we didn't know how to manage, it was not that managed, and even if it was second or third tier supplier somewhere, Tigo, our company, will get sued by the government because we were not compliant. So this program will bring compliance and corporate social responsibility as one of the biggest points, biggest KPIs of this project. So, so that's done. And this program, this category management-driven transformation has a fantastic result in terms of giving procurement huge visibility, trust, respect, confidence on the business owner side, that we can bring innovation, that we can bring digitalization. Our company is digital, so we work with the digital world. We are pioneers in our fields, but the back office was not. And now we're showing that we can do that. And I'm receiving so many requests to look into other areas and start mobilizing for transformational projects in separate categories, category by category. It's why I'm saying it's category management driven transformation. Not done end to end, but it has, it ticks a lot of ticks in the boxes in different transformational programs approaches. So, key takeaways, there is, one size doesn't fit all. Each transformational program will be different. It can cover end-to-end. It can be category-driven. It can be focused on specific technology parts. They're all very, very different. Category management really proved to deliver on expectations, but in my view, it can do much, much more. It can deliver more. And my team at Milicom, we're very inspired, we're very engaged, and we aim to continue doing category management-driven transformation. And I strongly believe that it can change the organization kind of from the inside out. And that's the path.
Thank you.